Howdy, 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 and welcome to another episode of the DirtInfo podcast. We've had some new listeners and viewers around here, so I figure a quick reintroduction might be useful. I'm Josh. That's Carter over there. We're both huge dirt racing nerds, and we both have or had positions in the dirt racing world beyond just being huge dirt racing nerds. We like to talk about dirt racing. We talk about the national tours as far as late models go, and then we also talk about modified stock cars, that kind of thing. We try to shine a light on the stuff that maybe isn't getting as much attention, but as dirt racing nerds, we also do just watch the stuff everyone else is watching and have opinions occasionally too.
Especially this time of year. We don't got any local tracks running in Wisconsin and Minnesota, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
forced to watch Florida racing.
That is very true. And then, yeah, once the weather turns where we are, we also get out to the racetrack quite a bit. And we like to recap what we see and do because, again, we like to talk about things that maybe not everyone's talking about, but are as equally newsworthy to us. So, anyway, with that, Carter, let's go ahead and jump into our first segment.
It's called Stylin and Profile.
Thanks, Rick.
So I got one of the tech guys in our area that works for IMCA. He gets like a ton of shirts from drivers and stuff. And when he's a tech guy, he can't wear them all. Because you don't want to wear a driver's shirt and then go tech. Um, So sometimes he gives a bunch to my mom, and this is one of the ones. And I've talked about this guy before, Logan Anderson. He's in a mod now, runs in Iowa, but this is his sport mod from 2 years ago. And I saw that in there, and I like him, so I was like, oh, I'll snatch this one out of there. There's a bunch of shirts in there though, like event shirts and driver shirts and stuff. But this was the one that I saw. I was like, oh, I definitely want this one.
I'm probably throwing a dart to an empty board here, but any big man sizes by chance, or are they all for
No,
like your skinny
they're
guys?
XL and 2Xs.
Oh, well,
Or
some
else,
might say big man is 2x, but unfortunately, I'm bigger than that. Right on, right on. Well, we'll talk about it more here in a minute, but I thought that this one would be appropriate. So I busted out the old Timmy McCready shirt. It's the one and only one I got. Um, and I definitely picked this up at Deer Creek at the Go for 50. And don't ask me what car's on the back because it was just $10. It was another one of them bargain bin shirts where you see a driver you like and it's a shirt. I could wear a blue shirt and you just grab it for $10. So I don't even it's definitely older than when I bought it, but I dig it and it's blue. So someone's got to bring the color around here. Anyway, if you're still here after that, go ahead and hit a like because we know you like what you heard. So go ahead and hit a like down there for us. Maybe hit subscribe if you're new and listening here on Spotify or watching us on YouTube. So if you could go ahead and do that, we'd be greatly appreciative. And anyway, we'll go ahead and jump into our next segment. Carter, obviously no racing here for us, but you did something cool. So how was the Bucks game?
Bucks game was fun. I don't really watch basketball, but I keep up with it, so I knew some of the players. So it sucked when, well, I knew Jokic was out. We talked about that. But
Yeah.
then Jamal Murray, who I believe is their second best, the Nuggets' second best player, he was out. And then Aaron Gordon, who's like the only other one I've heard of on their team, um, was injured in like the first quarter, and he was out. So I think I was watching Nuggets bench players all game. And then on the
Okay.
Bucks side of things, I think everyone was playing, at least of importance. But then
People you
late,
knew.
yeah, then late in the fourth, Giannis, I think he actually got hurt earlier but came back. But then Giannis was out for like a good half of the fourth quarter. So that was it. By the end of it, we were watching players I did not know, besides like a few guys was like, "Oh, I think I've heard his name, like kind of guys.
Yeah.
But then during the game, it looked like it was going to be a blowout. Like it was like Bucks were down like 20 points. And I don't know at what point it's a blowout in basketball. Like football, I kind of know, but basketball, I don't
Yeah.
know when we're at it. But I thought it was like, oh, this is over. And then they came back and it came down to like the very end of the game, like last shot, and then he missed. But it was a good game. I'd go back to an NBA game. I don't know if I'd be going to high school games or anything. I don't think
Not
I'm
that
that
big of a
into it.
fan, huh?
No.
The shots fired to a particular listener, by the
Yeah, true. I didn't even mean that, but that is true.
way.
It's
But
not like football where I go to an arena league game. Like I was looking at tickets for one of those maybe in March or something because I went
Yeah.
last year with my cousin and I enjoyed the arena league. I thought that was fun. So
Yeah. I mean, any league that can produce Kurt Warner is at least a little bit worth checking out, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, right on. Right
Yeah, I
on.
could be. You never know. You could be watching the next Kurt Warner when you go to an arena league game.
That's true. I mean, we haven't had one in like 2 decades, but you never know.
Exactly.
Have you seen the movie they made about him by chance?
Yeah, I
Just
watched that movie.
yeah, that was a pretty. I actually enjoyed that. That was a pretty solid movie. My youngest Colton had recommended I watched it a month or so back, and so I did, and I enjoyed it. It's kind of a cool story. Um, Random aside, I guess it just shows what perseverance and believing in yourself gets you. But we'll move on from that. Anyway, I did actually something kind of interesting. So speaking of my son Colton, he had a wrestling meet this past weekend, and it's noteworthy because so he's an 8th grader and he wrestles high school. All right.
Oh, okay.
So yep. So here, 7th and 8th, they are part of the high school team. So he's his first year wrestling. He's an 8th grader. He's on the high school team. And obviously wrestling, they have weight classes. Without disclosing too much, he basically wrestles light heavyweight. The weight right below heavyweight is what he normally wrestles. So he's wrestling grown men most of the time, because he's on the heavier side of things. So he's usually wrestling older kids at that point. So anyway, so he's been going through the trials and tribulations of that whole thing. And this past weekend was freshman sections. And so he's kind of like sigh of relief, like, okay, finally, like it's only going to be 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. I might have a shot. Well, it turns out they didn't have his weight. So he had to wrestle heavyweight. So he like got a break on one side of things, but not on the other side of things. So he went and he gave it his damnedest, and he tried hard, and it's his first year wrestling. I don't think you wrestled. I wrestled
No.
1 year and quit because it's hard as hell. So it's his first, his first year of wrestling. Is just kind of putting in the pains and tribulations everyone does when they first start. And so it didn't go his way, but I'm just proud of the effort, I guess. So to that Kurt Warner story, I was really proud of him for, he was given the option to opt out by his coach. His coach was like, you're going to have to wrestle heavyweights. Like, I get if that's not what you want to do. And Colton, to his credit, was just like, nah, I wrestle heavyweights every day in practice. His training partner is the heavyweight who's like close to the limit. So, he's all right. I was just really proud of him. And then also worth noting, because she's been a guest on our podcast before, but it was Sherry and I's 4th anniversary this past weekend.
Oh,
so
what'd you guys do?
Well, it was Friday, and Friday we chose to keep our money in our wallets. So on Saturday, though, we went to Outback Steakhouse.
Oh,
and
okay.
we kind of went nuts. we definitely went fat kid. We got multiple appetizers, huge steaks, and dessert. And so we really, I mean, we really put her down. I ate so much, and Sherry was like, I want cake. I was like, all right. She got the cake for 2, and it shows up, and my reaction was just like, holy shit, Sherry, how are we gonna finish that? And because she's awesome, she said, we're not. We're taking this home. It's for later. So it was pretty fun.
Back to your wrestling. Yeah, I never did wrestling because I knew before signing up that it wasn't WWE wrestling. If it was that, I might have done it. But I was like, oh, this is not the wrestling. This is not wrestling. Where are the chairs and all this stuff?
So funny story. All right. So I wrestled in 8th grade. I am a big dude. I alluded to that up front. I was a big dude. I was over heavyweight limit. So like when I maybe got like 3 or 4 matches. I think I won one because I was up against the other kids whose parents were like, you're really fat, you need to go wrestle and try to lose weight. But like he didn't play any other sports, where I did at least play other sports. So like I was finally the better of the two. So I did win at least one match. But so I was also disappointed it was nothing like WWE. So the following year, instead of signing up for wrestling, what happened is me and all my buddies from the football team would just go into the wrestling room on occasion when it was empty, and we had our own wrestling league where we did
See,
WWE
that's
wrestling.
way more fun. I think we had wrestling like early on, like third grade or something. You could do it. So like I think some people did think it was that, but I knew that that is
Yeah.
not what it was. It's not because I would have been way more intrigued if it was like WWE and I could do choke slams and stuff. I'm not trying to do grappling moves.
Oh man, we would go in there and they like have the mats rolled up, some of the mats rolled up. So those were like the top ropes, and we would jump up and land on each other. And we had like personas and finishers and a title bat. It was a whole thing. I'm telling you, man. We had like 10 guys who would regularly do this. Oh man. All right, I guess I pulled back the curtain. If you ever wonder why I talk or make random wrestling references, I was a huge wrestling fan back in the day. Then I went to college and met girls. And so-
Yeah, I think my fandom kind of died out around like sixth grade, unfortunately. But that's when WWE was not as good as like when you were. If it was as good as it was when you were watching, I probably would have still been watching into high school. But
to be honest, I make a joke like it was girls in college. It was really honestly, it was the tail end of the Attitude Era. When I was getting ready to graduate high school and everything, like we were kind of fading out of the Attitude Era, and so like that next product was not anywhere near as good. So it kind of waned interest in its own way a little bit. Um, so yeah. Anyway, completely random aside. Anyway, in addition to all of that stuff, I did also try to catch up and pay attention to a little bit of racing. We had the World of Outlaws season opener at Volusia. They raced
yeah,
3 days. 3 days they raced. I think there was at least something noteworthy or interesting each day. I didn't like watch full programs or anything, but anyway, Chris Madden kind of whooped up on everybody a little bit the first night. He just unloaded with speed and won. And that was in that Infinity house car. So that's his new deal. So
I thought he was in the. Oh no, who's in the Longhorn? Is it still Overton in the
I
Longhorn?
don't I
I
don't
thought
think
it.
no Longhorn's not in a factory team. I don't think there is a factory
Oh,
team or
I
like
don't
a
know. For
leash
some reason,
field or something.
I
But
thought Madden
yeah.
was in it for some reason, but I haven't been
No,
paying much
no.
attention.
So it's funny you mix all those names because Overton used to be the Infinity house car driver. He
Yeah,
left to go be the Longhorn one, and then they didn't have a car last year. Um, and now this year they're doing pick and choose schedule with Madden behind the wheel. So anyway, so he was pretty quick in it, that's for sure. And then Friday, what happened Friday? I'm trying to remember
Hudson won
Friday.
Friday.
Oh yeah, Huddy won on Friday. Oh, that was the one where he kind of led everything, and then towards the back end, Turbo made it interesting. Slash Huddy made it interesting on the last lap by missing the cushion in turn two. So Turbo made it close, but I don't think it was ever really in doubt. But you hear Ruben, you'd have thought Huddy just completely bent it to the finish line. And one of those 2 days, I think, was the day that Pierce and Hedgecock had their little,
That I think was
uh,
Friday, if I
yeah,
remember right. I know it wasn't
yeah,
Thursday because that was Thursday was the one that I watched kind of. I had on, and then I fell asleep. But I know when I was in Milwaukee, I think it was Friday night after the game. I
yeah.
saw the Hedgecock thing.
Did you? So you did see it?
I
I
saw the
mean,
clip. Yeah, I didn't.
yeah,
I could kind of see like I feel like they was both of them kind of doing stupid stuff to each other. Like I guess something else happened with Pierce, but I thought that one I was like I could see why he was upset. I don't know if that was the right decision, but I could see why he wasn't happy.
yeah, yeah. Watching it back, I didn't. I mean, I think Hedgecock, social media posted once or twice about getting pierced or
Yeah,
dirtied up or something. But watching it, I was kind of like, I don't get where you're gonna come off that way. It looked like for a lap, at least the lap preceding, he sort of used up Pierce. So I don't know if Rubbin's racing, then it's got to be Rubbin's racing both ways, I
but Pierce
guess.
did just like straight up take out Hedgecock
When I
after
did
that.
punt him, well,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I hate to ever say that's justified, but he leans on you, a couple turns in a row, and then throws a short slider right on your nose. I mean, like Turbo said last week, Davenport had a choice. It turns out Pierce had a choice this time, and he made it. So, I mean, you can't be mad at the guy for spinning you if you didn't throw if you didn't throw a short slider in front of him, give him an opportunity, you never could have done it. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess I didn't see the perspective of why Hedgecock was as pissed off at Pierce. I felt like that was a natural consequence of what was happening, I guess, for the lack of a better phrase. So anyway, that was kind of a noteworthy thing that happened. And then on Saturday, and hence the reason for the Timmy shirt, but McCready drove up from somewhere not on the front row for he was the only guy who wasn't on the front row. Drove from somewhere not on the front row, got around, gusted around halfway, and kind of drove away to win it. And then Bobby made his presence known again that night too.
Yeah, what happened with him and Hudson? That I didn't see.
So having watched it back another time, Huddy throws a slider on Pierce's nose. I don't know if it's a lap or a couple laps before, but he puts one right on his nose. Pierce brake checks, drives underneath it, and then at some point later, I don't think it's the very next set of turns, but maybe it is. But some point later, Pierce basically just recklessly washes up the wall
Oh,
and takes Huddy all the way to the wall. Huddy saves it to an extent, but at that point the breakaway panel and the decks caved in and everything, and the nose is a little messed up because he clear got the wall, and so he ended up fading back after that once he got damaged. So I don't know. That felt like pent up aggression from last week, from 2 weeks ago. Like they just carried Wild West shootout over here. They claimed they weren't having a rivalry, but I
yeah,
think they're full of shit.
but it's still happening.
Yeah.
I will say the guy I picked to be second in points got a win, so that's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, it's not lost on me that your guys started better than mine. It's a long season, and I'm allowed one change. Okay. If anyone has been listening, or for those who've been around here for a while, everyone knows I like to make bold predictions, and I'll crow if they win, but I'll take the lumps if they lose. So. And honestly, I feel like the McCready pick was bolder than mine, to be completely honest. But I did say last year that his motor sounded louder than everyone else's, so he must still have that one.
Still cheating.
Still I love how you call it cheating in a wide open motor room. Cheating. Anyway, well, let me give it right back at you then. Fair point. McCready's doing better than Troutman in one of our picks. But you were the one who went out of your way to point out that Bishop was slow at the Wild West shootout.
He was slow.
And if I'm not mistaken, you said something along the lines of he may have lost a step, but maybe I'm just misremembering.
Hey, I mean, he did. If you compare, if this was like 4 years ago, he would have won all three of them races, 4 or 5 years ago. So he did lose a step, but he was faster this week.
Fair enough. He's leading the outlaw points. At one point he was. I didn't, to be completely honest, I didn't check again today, so they may have given bonus points to people, but based on no bonus points declaration stuff, he was leading, I think, after
Let's
the
see.
last
He is
3
still
days.
leading. Do
He
they
is
do
still
the
leading.
do they oh they don't do the okay, they don't remember last year they did the thing where like anyone that signed up got like a ton of points so no one
But they
could.
haven't done that yet. That's
Yes,
why
I
he's
I wonder if
leading.
they haven't done that, if they're not doing that this year though with the split in a few weeks.
They might not be.
So then they
And
could
then
get guys like Shepard to, oh, maybe because we can run first, maybe I will stay here versus like having
right.
to making him forced to commit.
I mean, if he's still able to make that choice, and he must be, because I think we just saw one today. Your buddy Todd Moreau, I think it was, down. So that kind of shakes up the field. I haven't decided if I wanted to switch my pick to Rookie of the Year for him yet or not.
Well,
But
he's 41st out of 45, so
well, he's got a chance. But anyway, I'm assuming that they are that they're able to still make that decision. So
yeah, I think
it
it's
did.
smart of them to not give the bonus point thing since they start first. Like they have a good amount of races beforehand. So let guys
Yeah,
like Lucas guys like, oh, I'm leading. I guess I'll stay here.
it is. It is interesting. You're kind of taking my question. Shepard is on record saying he's going Lucas, but if you get through, you already went through one Volusia show. If you get through the second Volusia show and you're still leading the points, Do you stick around? Do you go to Hendry County instead of going to Alltech?
I
I
mean,
mean,
the way he's been running, I feel like you take whatever one you you have the best shot at. And
I would agree. And this is the tour that he's had historically more success on, and this is the tour that I think goes, in my opinion, goes in and around Illinois more
yeah,
than the other
this one
one.
is more
Yeah.
Midwest.
So,
I think Outlaws like all most of the tracks just fit him way more than the other ones. Not that he's bad. I mean, he just 1.5 mile. But when I think of Shepherd, I think of a 1/4 mile kind of track versus a freaking Pittsburgh. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't know that it's so much his decision to make, right? With it
Yeah,
being the
true.
Rocket One house car and there being, I think other people have made serious commitments based on the Rocket One car being on a certain series. I could be right, I could be wrong, but it feels that way. Um, so it may be not as easy of a choice, but it would be shocking, I think, if he
Yeah.
was leading after the next set of Volusia races and he went to Lucas. It would be shocking. It'd be understandable but shocking, I think.
I also think
If
I don't
that makes any
know
sense.
who's like buried in the points, but after the Volusia races, there could also be an outlaw guy or something. Like I have no idea who, but there could be someone that switches to Lucas. It's like I'm
Oh,
already
yeah.
I know they have drops and stuff, so I mean you can't be sure unless you have a god awful week, like you can't get that buried. But there's definitely someone that like screw it, we're not gonna win. Let's just try Lucas now.
Right, right. If the idea was start hot and see where you sat, and you were going, I don't like where I'm sitting over
That's true.
here, and I'm free to go either direction. Why not? You know. So interesting. But yeah, that's more or less the takeaways from Volusia. They've got more going on this week. We'll cover it here in a second. I think that deserves a little bit of its own time. But as a bit of a preview, Hendry County last this past weekend had the Dirt Car Modified Nationals, and they're running for like $2,500 and 5250, I think it was. Anyway, something like that, 5 grand. It was one of the bigger payouts of this whole Speed Weeks thing.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so they got 20 cars on Friday, unfortunately, and they had even less on Saturday. I think it was 18 on Saturday. But what they lacked in car count, I thought they had a fairly strong field. Uh, we'll get to some of the winners here in a second, but Cole Sarneski showed up there, which was kind of interesting. And then I thought Kurt Spalding going down. I had mentioned that last week. I was a little surprised he went that far south, but he did indeed. And then on Friday, Ray Bollinger won, and on Saturday, Zeke McKenzie took home the 5,000 plus payday. So, all names we kind of known or have mentioned a time or two before. So, kudos for them for trying. I don't know if 20 or 18 is disappointing or not to them.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's just their location hurts them, and all these other guys are going to be down there for a whole week, and they probably didn't want to take another week off, like when they're
yeah,
all going to
right.
Volusia. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's in like 2 weeks, I think, when the actual mod like they have something this week, but I think the actual like
Then they
Gator
have
thing
all the
is
week after
after.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole week after too. They race
yeah,
like 9 days, 9 out of the 10 next days once they get started here. Anyway, we'll
yeah.
touch it on it here in a second. But yeah, yeah. So, I mean, appreciate them putting up money. They got an interesting field and 2 days of solid racing. So, all halfway decent deal. Um, and then I guess we should. I buried it because I didn't want to admit that I was dead wrong twice and you were right twice. But so did I think we both got bits and pieces
I
of both
got
games over the
yeah, I saw
day.
the whole Seahawks game and the Patriots one I could have watched, but it was so boring I fell asleep after like the first quarter. And then I
After the first quarter,
woke up towards the end when it was like kind of good again. So I saw
yeah.
the important parts.
To steal a line from our buddy Brad, the fourth quarter of that Patriots Broncos game felt like watching a race on a rubber track. Truthfully, there's nothing was going to happen. People might try some stuff, but the ball wasn't going anywhere. There was just nothing was really going to happen. Um, so that was a bit of a bummer. They could have had that game tied. They passed up, you know, 10 points they passed up 3 points in the first quarter that turned out to kind of bite them in the tail. But Stidham was not the savior. I will say
No,
that.
I don't think obviously that did help them not having their starting quarterback. But I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I would much rather watch a football game in a dome because you can actually move the football around.
I disagree. I
I know you
disagree,
disagree.
but I do absolutely disagree. But in this instance, as in relation to the game we just watched, that would have been better in a dome,
Yeah.
100%. That one would have been. I mean, snow games require either like complete incompetence all around or complete mastery all around to get true magic in a snow
I
game.
feel like
But if
the
you
only
have
time you get a good snow game is like it's like two teams you don't care about and it's like snowing like you're already expecting bad football, so it doesn't matter. But like when it's a playoff game, it's, you're hoping for good football, and that is not what we got. I think Drake May had like 80 something passing yards.
yeah, it was pretty rough. Almost probably more rushing yards than passing yards if I had to
Probably.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I much
Uh,
like I love when like Sunday Night Football like is in Houston or in Atlanta or something because I feel like most of the time the game is usually better, especially late in the year. Early on, like I don't care where if it's outdoors, but when you get like December and stuff, give me a dome game every time.
If Bo Nix was healthy, that game would have been epic, I think.
You think
Because
so?
you would have had another quarterback on the other side who can run and move a pile every now and again and gut it out, and
I mean, it would have definitely been better.
kind of cool. Yeah, yeah, it would have been kind of cool. It would have been equally as close because those defenses are both those defenses are
Yeah.
incredible. Um, but yeah, like Stidham directly costed them a game. He had that. I don't know if you caught it, but the conniption where he basically had a conniption. I don't know what he was doing. He thought he was trying to throw it away, and it did not
Oh,
work.
I did not see
Should have
that.
been a
No.
touchdown. Should have been a defensive touchdown, but they got it inside the 5, and that's when Drake May rushed in the touchdown to get it closer or to tie it at that point. So yeah, I mean he directly costed them the game. So it could have been something cool. Anyway, on the other side of things, it was kind of a cool game. And I think clock management was the issue there. Sean McVay kind of did not leave them enough time to or they didn't leave themselves enough time. I can't remember. They were burning up timeouts in weird ways in the second half. I'll tell you that. Didn't they call a timeout to think about a challenge at one point? Like what
I
the?
thought they had
It,
three like at the end, or I don't remember. I can't
uh-uh,
remember what happened. I just know
burnt one
they could have scored on like a fourth and goal and they
couple
didn't
drives
score.
earlier. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
then Seahawks got the ball and I think they got a first down or two and then they had to punt it and then the Rams had like 30 seconds or something, maybe less, no timeouts.
yeah. They couldn't stop them. I remember that. The Seahawks got a first down or two and really did kind of bleed that clock off of them, and then they
Yeah.
left them. Yeah. Um, But yeah, if Puka gets out of bounds there, we at least get a Hail Mary. That could have been
Yeah.
a kind of
We
cool to
get
see.
that.
But yeah, yeah. Stafford has all the arm in the world to get it there.
And it wouldn't have been that far of a Hail Mary.
It
Like
won't have at that point, yeah. So it could have been something interesting or some sort of trick play or something. I don't know.
the laterals
I'm
never
all
work. I hate when they
yeah,
do a lateral when they're in Hail Mary range because 99% of the time it doesn't work.
yeah. Yeah. I did see some just randomly. I did see a TikTok of like a high school team who did like the hook and lateral, but then they had an awesome twist on it. So it's hook, lateral. So the dude who gets the lateral starts going up the field, and then they have a long way to go. So then they have an option man running trail on him. And so when the team comes down, finally gets like in position to come down on the lateral guy, he just pitches it to the option dude and he takes it the rest of the way for a touchdown. So
I think those ones might work. It's the ones where they just like have no plan going into it. It's just throw it to the running back and then
Yeah, yeah.
start pitching it. So
Next
usually
thing
it's
you
give
know,
it
the
to the
center's
fastest.
got it, and you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
God."
As soon as it gets in the old lineman's hands, you know it's over with. Usually
Yeah,
at that point the defense scores the touchdown.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, but so Sammy D is going to the Super Bowl.
Unfortunately.
Couldn't bring the Vikings to the promised land, but as soon as he leaves, he goes right there.
Yeah. Where was all
Yeah.
that last year? All that poise.
He was learning it. He had to go trial by fire. He'd never been that far in the playoffs, never had that much pressure before. I talked about this. I thought he would figure it out in the playoffs. He didn't, but I think my premise was still good. Trial by fire. He had to learn through some things, and now we shipped him off to Seattle, and they get all the fruits of that labor because he might go. He's gonna go. He very well could go win a Super Bowl.
I think
Honestly,
they're better than the Patriots, so
I think they're better than the
I
Patriots.
think no offense to Brad, but I think the Patriots had a cakewalk playoff schedule.
They did. They got.
They
They
had
got.
Houston and then Bo Nix list Buck or Broncos. So
Yeah.
and
Worth pointing out,
who they
though.
have in the wild card? They have I
Houston.
think
So there was Houston,
no,
and then
they had Houston divisional round.
yeah, I'm trying to think who else they played. Oh, I can't remember. I'd have to pull up a bracket.
I
It
can't
wasn't
remember either.
any. Um, but anyway, I just worth pointing out real quick though. This was kind of the story of when the Brady Patriots dynasty started too. Is they
Chargers.
went in Chargers, yeah. Chargers aren't like good, honestly. But anyway, the Brady dynasty started with, and I can't remember all the facts at this point. I'm old and I can't piece them all together. But basically, they were just like Brady. His defense carried him, and Brady's not good enough to win it. Which is kind of what I'm hearing about May, because he's been relatively atrocious in these playoffs. Is like, but so just something to throw out there. If we all get too doubtful, we might spring a decade of dominance on ourselves. So let's be careful.
Good news is at least this game, well, it is an outdoor game. It's in the Niners Stadium, but it's hopefully should be good weather and stuff. Watch it's gonna be pouring rain or something.
I think it was one of the last times they were there.
It wouldn't shock
So
me. I just
yeah,
wish it was on a Saturday. I don't know how you feel about it,
it
but I
should
think a Super Bowl should be on a Saturday.
it should be. It should be. I get Sunday because football's played on Sundays or the NFL's played on Sundays. I get all that. But if we're not going to take Monday as a national recovery day, then we should get a Super Bowl on a Saturday.
Exactly. Like I don't even drink watching it. I just put it on a Saturday. Like I don't even really go to a big party for it or anything. I just think it should be on a Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Although I do like Super Bowl parties, and I don't drink, period. So it's not like I'm getting tied up on one. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna reserve picks till next week. I'm not gonna let's take it all in. Let's see who's injured. Let's maybe someone broke another ankle. I don't know, but no point making a pick that we're gonna forget by the time it gets here. So we'll save that for next on next
Sweet.
week. Anyway, oh, another racing thing really quick, and I'll make this brief. But Dylan Thornton won the first 3 races down at Central Arizona this past weekend. Did you see that?
I didn't. I saw he won a couple. I didn't know he won the first three. Who won the
Yeah, he
fourth one?
won.
Do we know?
I
Or
don't
do they only
know.
do three?
No, there was 4. He won the first 3. I don't remember who won the fourth, and that's,
I'll do some
probably
live research. Well, you can
not the
talk
best
about.
way to do that. But anyway, so they go again this weekend for another 4 days. Um, and I'm kind of excited because by the time Saturday rolled around, they had 50 stock cars and 91 modifieds. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty dang impressive.
Yes, Baca won the fourth.
That was Baca. I almost said that just as a random poll because I remember he was up there. I mean, the stock cars had a Kurt Lund won, Shelby Williams won another. Anyway, not doing the wall to wall coverage car there, but anyway, it's just something I'm gonna keep an eye on. What do they get if they can get over what they had last weekend? I think that'd be kind of neat. And then if someone dominates again like Dilly did, we'll bring it up. But anyway, so that brings us to this week. This week is kind of light. We've got 1 late model event and 1 modified event. We kind of alluded to the
Well,
modified one before.
oh yeah. I thought, yeah, I see what you mean. Like
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, I thought you meant they only raced once. They raced a
No,
few
no,
times.
no. Yeah. There is 2. So we already alluded to the modifieds a little bit. So Volusia's got the DirtCar Nationals starting, I think, is what this event
Yeah,
is, and it
this
goes
is
for like 3 weeks or something crazy. Um, but so the mods are going to race Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they get Sunday off, and they start racing again soon thereafter. But anyway, so three races this weekend. I don't know who's the headliner. It's them and ASCS, so 360 sprints. I'm not sure who the headliner is. I would personally say the UMP mods are the headliner. Your mileage may vary on that,
that'll be the
but
only race I watch this weekend too. Thursday. Well, only race that'll be on. Watchable to be decided.
TBD, right on. So another thing to note, this weekend they actually get to race though. They get to qualify, they get heat races, they get Bs, and they get a feature. Um, so that's noteworthy for the mods. They at least get full programs for 2 days, and then the third day is based off that every lap matters
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
and beats Bs and all of that. So anyway, because next week is when we get those features.
Oh,
Remember
there's
how they
like
like
5
qualify?
features or whatever they do. Yeah. Hours of
So
qualifying.
yeah.
And they used to be during the sprint car portion, but I think the sprint cars are after that. Or Is this with the sprint car? Are they with the sprint cars next week or with the late
They
models? Do we
are,
know?
but the sprint cars don't start. The mods start a day or two before the sprint cars.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's probably 2 days of qualifying for all we know. But we'll talk about that next week when we get to next week. But I just did think it was noteworthy that they actually get to run full programs this weekend. So this won't be the full field for DirtCar Nationals yet. We won't know that till they start racing next week on like Tuesday. So whatever we get this weekend, we're gonna get more for the following week. I can probably guarantee that for sure. Um, so anyway, that's what's going on. And then Hunt the Front opens their season. So I actually kind of dig for all the complaining I did about Lucas and Wu scheduling over the top of each other. I can at least appreciate that over the next 2 weekends, even though we don't have Lucas or World of Outlaws racing, we still have big time late model racing both weekends. This weekend's Hunt the Front. They're opening their season. I think it's a non-points deal.
Yeah, I believe so.
But yeah. But so they've got 2 races at Needmore Speedway this weekend, and they're 10 grand each to win. That's on
Yeah.
htf.tv. Yeah. So should be interesting. I imagine they're going to get a good field of cars. Truthfully, right? We just had some odd number of cars down at Volusia. There's nothing else going on this weekend, so either they're hanging out in Volusia or they're going to find a race. So I imagine we'll get a healthy car count for the
I
Hunt
did
front.
see some guys are practicing today at Hendry County. Like
Oh,
Trey Mills is down there. There is more. I didn't look at the pictures too hard, but there's guys that are
oh
down there
yeah.
testing.
Yep. I had. Now that you say that, I think I had heard that. I had heard that from the Chaz. I think the Chaz. I've mentioned him a couple times. He cracks me up sometimes. So this time apparently he was trying to lose weight enough to fit into Boom Briggs's car to
Oh
take
yeah,
some tests.
I saw the story about that. Yeah, he like had
Yeah.
a whole video. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did see that.
So I don't know if he made it or not. The last update I saw, I think this morning, as of recording here Monday, this is going to come out tomorrow, Tuesday. But that the latest update I saw is they were going to give her a try and see if he fit. He fit in the fight suit, which was step one in the journey. And so step two is, does he fit in the seat itself? So I don't know. I find it interesting. Guys trying to make racing interesting. I can appreciate it. Um, Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on this
And
weekend.
Hunt the Front, I
Yeah.
guess because we record they race Monday, Tuesday, I think, too at Swainsboro. They
Oh,
run,
you're right. Yeah,
yeah,
they do.
and I
There
think
again
those are
at
both
Swainsboro.
10,000s.
Those are also 10,000. Thanks for
Yeah.
reminding me. Because I know we'll talk about it next week, but Southern Nationals goes next weekend. That's where everyone's going to be, is a Southern Nat show.
Well,
So
and the that race at Screven is next weekend too. That's
yes,
like 25,000 to win.
that's the one.
Oh, and well, then there is Southern Nationals that start during Speed Weeks. I don't know when it starts. Like the little thing, like spring they do in the Spring Nationals. That starts
Yeah,
in
I think that's what's sanctioning Screven,
oh, is it?
honestly.
Because I know it's during it. Because usually they're not on top of
Yeah,
each other. I don't think. And I was like,
yeah,
oh,
Southern.
Lucas
Oh, it's
Oil's like,
Southern. It's Southern All Stars. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Southern All
okay,
Stars.
yeah. Because but then there's the Spring Nationals. Because when I was looking at the schedule, it's like, oh, Lucas is in Georgia when the Spring National thing is going on in like Alabama or something. So I was curious how car count will be with that.
Yeah.
But we'll get
Yeah.
to that in a few weeks.
That's in a few weeks. So you can't blame us for not being prepared. We just demonstrated that we research weeks out in advance, but sometimes that leads us to get down rabbit holes figuring out what we saw. But yeah. So anyway, but that scrubbing race should be kind of cool. I'm excited to talk about that next week because they got the SCDRA too. So,
Yeah, I won't be able to
but
watch it.
let's put a pin in that one. Anyway, Carter, I think that is everything we wanted to talk about. And honestly, some stuff we didn't intend to talk about. But with that, it means it's time for.
The one for the road, and mine is so we I think this was a one for the road like a year ago,
It was.
when they announced it that Hawkeye Downs Speedway, the asphalt track in Iowa, they put dirt on it for this past fall, and they did some races. I went to one of them, and they're doing it again this year in fall, and then they're leaving it on for spring of 2027. But when they were talking about it, one of the things they mentioned, which I found interesting, is our long-term plans with this is to bring in big series like USAC Midgets, Lucas Oil late models, and then the World of Outlaws. So I think late models, I know race good there, as long as it doesn't rubber, because that did happen when I went. But the heats were really good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's a quarter mile, so pretty much anything will be good there. Although sprint cars might be, if they're going to bring sprint cars, they might need to put some catch fencing up because I was seeing stock cars go over the wall. So thankfully, it's
Yeah,
just a drop into grass, so it's not like a huge deal, but I don't know if you want to just leave. You might need to put a wall up if you're going to do that. But late models, I don't think it'll be an issue.
I know, I know. So that's kind of cool. Did you? Uh, who's is it? Benton County that's kind
Yeah,
of involved
they're
with
they're
that.
kind of
Okay,
like the one like building the track and prepping it and all that.
okay. So kind of cool. They know a thing or two about racing, I would assume.
Yeah,
You made a point to finally get there. So
yeah.
and I believe you
That's
left very
I think it's
happy.
my
So
favorite track in Iowa. So
all right. Well, look at
Benton
that.
County is, I mean, not
Yeah,
Hawkeye. Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Hawkeye Downs is two apparently now because they know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is kind of a cool thing. So, right on. I guess dirt's better than asphalt. Settles that. I mean, I leave it on there the whole time soon.
In Iowa,
Anyway,
wouldn't shock me. I mean, in Iowa, you don't got a ton of. I mean, some of the divisions they run there are dirt divisions. Like they run sport mods and hobby stocks and stuff there because
okay.
they got to
Draws
draw
from the
some dirt
cars.
guys.
Yeah. Right on, right on. Well, for my one for the road, I may be breaking news to some listeners, but this came out today, and I think it's actually pretty cool. So what I am billing as the most consequential tour decision of the whole offseason happened today. And that was Brandon Davis announcing that he's going to go full-time USMTS. Now, some people might think I'm crazy, but there wasn't a lot that happened on the broader touring scale. And quite frankly, Brandon, it's always been shocking to me that he's not run the full tour. And it's really rare that a dude announces for a tour and he's one of like the favorites right out of the gate. But at least in my opinion, Brandon Davis has got to be one of the favorites to win this title this year for the USMTS. All of the tracks up here where like Chisholm kind of has gotten an advantage over Mullins on like the Deer Creeks or the MTSs and stuff, like those tracks that he's more familiar with. Like Brandon Davis is as good or better than Jim Chisholm at all of those tracks. He builds his own stuff. He's been a USRA champion multiple times. Like, just dude can race. I know stepping out and going on the road is going to provide its own set of challenges, but he seems like a really smart, intellectual guy. Like I've noticed him in like he's always I found that he frequently is posting in like mod setup places. Don't ask me how I know that. He kind of pointed me to it in an interview once, but I've noticed it since. And like he just loves talking about racing and all kinds of other stuff. He's just like really into it, and it may present challenges, but I think if any dude can figure it out, it's going to be him. Truthfully, it's just what I think. And so it's rare that a guy announces and you're like, he has a shot to win it, but Davis does. And so I'm probably going long-winded about this, but for those who listen frequently, I am passionate about the USMTS. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Like, I, that product has potential. Maybe this will help it reach some of it, is all I'm saying. Like, it's often some of the best races, and we just thrown another one of the absolute studs of across the country in modified racing into this field. It's hard not to be excited about that. At least for me. You seem to be like it's
I
whatever.
don't really watch it, so everything I'll see about it, it will be heard from you.
Through me, and from Brad. And if I can drag you out to a USMTS show this summer. Right on. But anyway, I'm excited for it. I think it's big news. I think it's actually really big news for the USMTS. I'm sure the guys over there are excited to have a guy like Brandon join the tour. And to be quite frank, his car is always really nice looking. And I suppose while I'm doing all of this, yeah, Carter, I should maybe just
Move your
go ahead
mic.
and go ahead and just disclose.
There you
I mean,
go.
I do have his door panel on the wall, so my excitement is legit. Oh no, we're making a mess. There we go. Let's really get in there. Yeah, yeah. I paid a pretty penny for that. It went to a good cause. But anyway, I'm excited about this. And his cars are always gorgeous too. So, that's one of the things that drew me to racing was pretty girls and pretty cars. So he's got pretty cars going too. Anyway, I'm done. We'll end it there. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you next week. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right. See ya.